It's college wrestling.
Pretty good hips here.
What a great resource. And here we go for the second half of this Iowa State-Iowa dual meet, where it'll be at 165. Jason DeGata for Iowa versus Nick Pasolano. Pasolano, a sophomore from New Lenox, Illinois, wrestled for Providence Catholic High School. And Jason DeGata, a junior from Port Richey, Florida, Richwood, and then Upper Iowa University, and then transferred from Upper Iowa here to the Hawkeyes. Contrast in styles, wouldn't you say here?
Well, you know, Pasolano's got that year experience. DeGata had a little bit of wrestling last year, and he actually excited the crowd, but he's probably still getting used to what he needs to feel like. And it's a big-time program. I don't believe he ever won a state championship. I think he was like a place winner maybe in the state of Florida, but, you know, this is just a pretty good experience for him right now.
It is, and I think he's got a classic build for, you know, the Iowa style of wrestling. And Pasolano's down a weight here. He wrestled at 174 last year. He's going at it at 65 right now, and so he's we'll see how the weight has affected him. But one thing I liked about DeGata when we saw him last year, you mentioned, Danny, excited the crowd. He's kind of got that, I'd almost call it a we've seen it in the Division III matches that we did, that if they've got a move out there, they're going to throw it. You're not going to leave it in the back pocket.
Well, I think that's what makes this an interesting matchup here.
Yeah.
The fact that DeGata is, no matter what's happening, going to keep coming after you. And Pasolano, he doesn't, you know, do a whole lot.
Yeah, you're right, he doesn't. But just as we say that, he switches off to a nice high crotch and double A, cut the corner, nice stand, and gets two.
They'll ask me to say something about it more often with that kind of action right there. Great takedown by Pasolano. Makes the score 2-0 for the Iowa State sophomore.
He rides with that right leg in again, and if you aren't really skilled at being able to go both ways, you could stymie. And as so far, it just looks like he's keeping his baits there. Got to know how to peel. There he comes out of there. It's a stand-up. Going out of bounds.
Take him down on the mat.
Pasolano down from 174 from what he wrestled last year. Here's the replay of the takedown.
Shot a high cross, cut the corner with his head real well, was able to come around to the knees. So it was a great second move to make the move look easy.
And went right into the half Nelson too.
Right, came close to getting a back points there actually.
It's kind of a crab ride there, and
he's kind of pulling the leg to him, and he should be pulling it off of him because it kind of kept the body tight. Even though he's looking like he might get his head up there, he could come out of there, but his head's being controlled by Pasolano on the left side. But it's
Get off the toe.
Unusual situation there. He shrugged that side, but
That's illegal. One green on the throat.
wow.
You were told. Hey, come on.
Said he had warned him.
Keith said he had warned him verbally.
Yeah.
We heard him say,
Didn't
you were
make
told.
didn't make a motion.
And so he continued, and the point goes against the Iowa State wrestler for Iowa. Makes the score 2-1. Pasolano still on top. Leg in.
It's pretty high. If you did the little shoulder shrug there, I think you'd be all right. But he got both legs in now, and he's got him flat on the mat. Yeah, this is a position that a lot of young kids just don't bother to work on, that down position. All the little skills you need to do with your hips, with your hands. You know, you just got to make sure that you're in a position that you can come out. And it actually hurt Iowa at 41 with Moffitt. He was in this position most of the match. It's one of those essential positions that if you don't master, you're going to get controlled.
Pasolano doing the controlling right now and trying to drive. Little action by DeGata, who's trying to get out there but didn't. Scores 2-1 in favor of Pasolano with 1:52 riding time after the first period.
Takes down second period.
Got a lot of riding time.
Optional start. On the one side. Set.
Get ready to go for takedown. Facing.
Still control. That's one. Escape.
He did the optional start, gave him the 1-point escape. It's a matter of if Pasolano want to continue to build the lead and control, he's going to have to get his offense going. But Diagata's looking to try to turn this thing around a little bit. I think whoever starts opening up has the best chance here.
Circle.
3-1 in favor of Pasolano. We're a minute 30 left in the second period. Tim Johnson along with Jim Gibbons and Dan Gable here at Carver Hawkeye Arena. We're in the 6th match of the meet between Iowa State and Iowa, and we have about 7,500 in attendance here.
Right. But if you're coaching Pasolano in this situation, this is a situation you just want him to start opening up right now. He's got a 3-1 lead, and if he does anything positive right here, gets a takedown, he really takes Diagata out of the match.
And we've seen
Absolutely.
him do it.
Yeah, he's got the ability to do it.
Seems like Diagata needs to put two things together. He's done a couple one things at one time, and then he had an opportunity, but he didn't follow up on it. It's kind of like you do something, and you watch it instead of do something and do it again, or do something and follow through. Both guys are kind of just jockeying around. They're kind of waiting for somebody to fall down, and that's not going to happen.
The keys to success in this sport are quite simple. It's just a matter of doing them. And you talked about underneath. You talked about putting things together. And it's just it's very simple, the principles to success, isn't it?
It certainly is. And I just, again, both these guys just aren't putting out the energy that I would like to see. There should be more holds hit, more holds. And the effort here, it's a tough wrestling match, but it's just, it's not what you need to do to really be not really dominant, to create exciting, best kind of wrestling. More in push and shove. You got to set those holds. There's a good shot, but he was up the hips again. The guy's got a low center of gravity. You got to hit that guy low if you're going to penetrate him.
Here we go.
I don't know if Diagata has pulled the trigger yet, though. Really.
That's what I was thinking. He hasn't really pulled the trigger. Let's go to Jim Gibbons, who has a special guest, Chris Campbell.
Thank you, Tim. I'm here with Chris Campbell. And Chris, I don't know whether a lot of people know this. I learned a lot of my wrestling from Chris. And back here for the reunion, what's it got to feel like?
Well, it's great to be back. Obviously, having been a part of the national championship teams that we created here was really wonderful. To come back and to be part of this program has been great.
Well, you know the rivalry real well, too, because you coached at Iowa State and coached me.
Coached at Iowa State for 4 years and coached you. Had a great student because, you had a great shot. It was natural. All I had to do is teach you how to finish, and you won the nationals.
Well, I don't think people know how good a coach this guy was, but almost got a social security check by the time you got that bronze medal. He won it at age 39, but also was a 1981 world champion. So world-class wrestler, world-class guy, and a great coach.
Yeah, it's been fun, and I just really want to have to thank the University of Iowa for giving me an opportunity to wrestle here, and all of Iowa people, really, because I really grew up here.
Yeah. Well, tell people what you're doing now.
Right now, I'm an attorney in San Francisco. I do aviation law and sports and law. Actually, I represent a lot of Olympic athletes, and then some employment labor stuff.
Well, it's great to have you back. Welcome back to Iowa.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Jim, and we're back. And we just got 2 more takedown points for Iowa State's Pasolano off the shot of Diagata, who had a nice shot, Dan, but he didn't finish.
No, he shot straight in and stopped. He didn't cut the corner or lift hard, and it gave Pasolano a great chance to use his stuff to slide by with the legs in. So I'll tell you, if you're going to wrestle somebody that's a legger that uses his hips well, you don't shoot head to outside shots with one arm unless you cut that corner and pick. And he hesitated. That gave Pasolano a great opportunity to come around. Right when it looked like he was, if you read the face of him, it looked like he was a little bit vulnerable.
Now he's got an opportunity to turn.
He had a good opportunity, but he hesitated. He let him get it back under the arms. He was over there. Now it's a matter of,
A place Pasolano feels kind of comfortable is in scramble and the crab ride type thing, but he seems awful high.
He does, but he's keeping that leg in tight, and so he ends up, good position controlling the hips.
We talked a little bit more about Holker. He had the kind of the power legs. Well, these are an example of the clingy legs. See how his chest is down over the head. He's not really lifting his chest up and getting a lot of power, and there's actually some space between his hips and the middle of Diagata's back.
Yeah, he's actually controlling him a lot. I see several times where he looked like he could have exploded and maybe got a reversal, but he just is not knowing what to do there. Hey, when you said something about Chris Campbell coaching you, I forgot about that.
That's right.
And you had some of the best lip finishes I ever saw. And I know where it came from. I thought you did that all by yourself.
No, Carl Adams and Chris Campbell
Well, give
had a
me
lot.
some credit because you wrestled here.
It all goes back to you, doesn't it?
No.
Okay,
Just a
guys,
little bit.
the end of that match, 6-1. The winner was Nick Pozzolano over Jason Diagata. Makes the score now. Iowa 14, Iowa State closing it with 7 points. 14-7, we go into the next match, 174.
I'd say I think it does come back a little bit to where you got some relatives from Cresco a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, I think before us there were some pretty good Cresco people.
Yeah.
Waterloo people too, but Cresco had some great people.
Northeast